Every year I meet with retirees who are terrified of their RMDs. They say things like, Mark, I don't get it. I've done everything right my whole life. But now the IRS is forcing me to take money out and I don't even need it. And I feel like I'm being punished for saving all those years. And I get it. You spent decades building your nest egg, and suddenly it feels like the government isn't in control of how and when you spend your own money. But here's what's fascinating. When I show retirees this one simple graph, they stop worrying about RMDs entirely because they finally see how to turn those required withdrawals into something that actually works for them, not against them. Hi, I'm Mark Wisniewski, president of Southern Incomes. Let's talk about why required minimum distributions don't have to be the enemy, and how, with the right strategy, they can actually strengthen your retirement plan. It's true. Part 1, why RMDs create so much anxiety. Let's start with why it's such a stressful topic for so many retirees. For decades, you've been told to save, contribute to your 401k or your IRA, defer taxes, let it grow. You were disciplined and consistent with that. Then suddenly, at age 73, the IRS comes knocking and it says it's time to start taking money out whether you need it or not. That's a major mindset shift. Your retirement account, the one that you've spent years protecting, now becomes just another taxable income source. And if you don't plan around it, those RMDs can push you into a higher tax bracket, increase your Medicare premiums through IRMAA surcharges, or even make more of your Social Security taxable. So yes, it's completely understandable that you feel uneasy. But here's the truth. RMDs are not a punishment. They're a signal. They're the IRS's way of saying it's time to use your money strategically. Once you shift your mindset from required withdrawals to planned income, everything changes. Part 2, the income graph that changes everything. Here's the visual I show every retiree. It's what I call the retirement income graph. Picture this. On the bottom axis, you have your age. On the vertical axis, that's all of your income sources. As we plot your life after retirement, you see income naturally rises and falls over time. In your early 60s, you may have a lower income. Maybe you're living off of cash savings or part-time work before Social Security. In your early 70s, income spikes. Social Security, pensions, and now those RMDs all stack together. Then, as you move into your 80s and 90s, income needs tend to decline as your spending slows. Once retirees see this curve, the light bulb goes on. They get it. RMDs are not random. They are part of a natural income rhythm that can be completely planned for. The goal isn't to fight them, it's to integrate them into your income plan into a way that supports your lifestyle and, of course, minimizes unnecessary taxes. Part 3, how to regain control from reactive to proactive. So how do you take control of your RMDs instead of letting them control you? It comes down to timing and tax diversification. Here are 3 strategies that can make a world of difference. Number 1, use your low-income years before 73. Between retirement and your first RMD, you often have several years where your income drops. That's your golden window. Use it to take voluntary withdrawals and partial Roth conversions intentionally, filling up those lower tax brackets on your terms. You're moving money from a tax later to a tax never. 2, coordinate income across all buckets. Instead of just pulling money randomly each year, align your RMDs with your actual spending plan. If your RMD covers your annual lifestyle needs, that's great. If not, balance withdrawals between your IRA, taxable accounts, and Roth accounts so it stays efficient. And if you don't need the income, reinvest it in a tax-efficient portfolio or even towards your legacy goals. 3. Give strategically with qualified charitable distributions, QCDs. If you're charitably inclined, you can donate up to $100,000 per year directly from your IRA to a qualified charity. And that donation counts towards your RMD, but it doesn't count as taxable income. Not bad. You fulfill your giving goals and reduce your tax bill in one move. Part 4, the mindset shift from tax burden to income tool. Here's what I tell every client. You received the tax break when you save this money. Now the IRS, they want their share. That's not a penalty. It's how the system works. The key is realizing you still have control over how efficiently that all happens. When you plan ahead, you can decide when to recognize that income. Spread your taxes over multiple years. Reduce IRMAA exposure and pass more wealth to your heirs tax efficiently. Once people see this on the income graph, a clear, predictable path for their withdrawals, their anxiety disappears because they can finally see how all the pieces fit together. Part 5, a real-life example. Let's take two retirees, Jim and Susan. Both are 72 and both have exactly $1 million in an IRA. Jim never planned for RMDs. He just waited until the IRS forced him to start taking them. His first RMD is going to be maybe $40,000. Add Social Security, other income, and now he's pushed himself into a higher tax bracket, triggering IRMAA surcharges and extra tax on his Social Security checks. Susan took a different path. Between 65 and 72, she did small Roth conversions each year, just enough to stay in that lower tax bracket. Now, by 73, her traditional IRA is smaller, her Roth account has grown tax-free, and her RMDs are far more manageable. And by the way, her Medicare costs stay stable, and her overall lifetime tax bill is much lower. They both followed the rules, but one turned the rules into a strategy. Part 6, don't forget the legacy impact. This part is often overlooked. If you pass away with a large IRA, your kids or your beneficiaries now have to deplete that account within 10 years, thanks to the Secure Act. If they're high earners, that inheritance could push them into higher tax brackets. But by managing your RMDs and possibly doing Roth conversions during your lifetime, you can pass down more tax-free wealth instead of what amounts to a ticking tax bomb. And again, QCDs are another great option if charitable giving is important to you. They allow you to make a meaningful impact right now while keeping your taxable income under control. Part 7, the big picture. What real peace of mind looks like. When you understand the flow of your income, how your RMDs fit in, when to take withdrawals and when to convert, you take back control. Instead of fearing the IRS letter every year, you look at your plan and you know exactly what's coming, why it's happening, and how it benefits you. Your plan feels stable. Your taxes, they're predictable. And most importantly, your retirement feels intentional, right? That's when people finally relax because they realize RMDs are not a threat. They're just a chapter in the story of using your money wisely. If you want help building a retirement income plan that turns your RMDs into opportunity, not stress, book a call with me using the link in the description. We'll walk through your income timeline, your tax brackets, and show you exactly how to make your RMDs work for you, not against you. Because once you see your retirement income this way, you'll stop worrying about RMDs and start focusing on enjoying the life that you work so hard for.